random questions atheists will look stupid trying to answer. By far one of my most fun videos yet, but this is a similar video, but that video was more of seeing people's reactions and answers. Wasn't really on trying to get accurate answers or not, because as I said, it's all assumptions. All of your answers were assumptions. That's why I wasn't even really trying to respond to them. They were all assumptions. I don't really care about it. I just wanted to see what kind of answers you people would come up with. And it was real funny. But now I thought of this. Me asking atheists those questions was like even trying to ask a believer in a higher being, like to point for me where heaven is. Although you might believe in a heaven, it doesn't mean that you can point to where it is, because heaven is still an assumption, because we haven't seen it. No one on earth, I'm assuming, has ever seen heaven. But don't get me wrong, I do believe that a heaven does exist. I believe every word in the Bible. So let's not get me wrong on that one. But you still can't point to me where it is. You can point up, but then again, how do we know that's up? This could be up. That could be up. That could be up. Way over there it could be up. Who knows? But I'm going to ask 7 questions, and most have branches, but it's essentially 7 questions. These questions are just to make you think. I don't care who tries to answer them, just try to answer them. Alright. First question. Do you believe that energy has always existed? If you say yes to that question, this is question 1A. Do you believe it existed within vacuum fluxes and a timeless, spaceless, matterless void before a Big Bang? If you say no to that question, this is question 1A. A. 1AA. Alright. Can energy create itself? If you said yes to that question, this is question 1AB. How so? And give 100% infallible, non-opinionated, empirical proof on how it still does today. It is scientifically believed that energy can't be created or destroyed. Henceforth, the law of conservation of energy. For something to be labeled as science, it should be able to be observed, tested, and then repeated. Since it's seemingly impossible to be able to observe whether something is eternal or not, since you are not eternal, you can't observe it. Which means it's seemingly impossible to be able to test whether it's eternal or not, since you can't observe it, which definitely means you can't repeat it if you've never tested it. So, question number 2. Has matter always existed? Question 2A. Can matter create itself? If you say yes to that question, question 2AA is how so? And give 100% infallible, non-opinionated, empirical proof on how it still does today. Question 3. Do you believe a mass of matter and energy rotated until it exploded? Question 3A. If you said yes to that question, did that mass of energy and matter create itself? Question 3AA. Do you believe that all matter and energy and the universe was created by a Big Bang 14 billion years ago? If you said yes to that question, question 3AB goes as follows. Were you or anyone existing today existing at that point to observe this occurrence? If you said no to that question, the next question is 3AC, which is if you didn't exist to observe it, how can you test it today? And wouldn't your test be based on the assumption that it happened since no one was there to observe it? Question 3B. Can you repeat an occurrence that no one has observed? Question 3BA. If you say yes to that question, explain how so and give 100% infallible, non-opinionated, empirical proof on how you can. Question 3BB. If you do attempt to repeat it, wouldn't the outcome be based on the assumption that it happened like you thought it did? If you said no to that question, this is question 3BC. Explain how not and give 100% infallible, non-opinionated empirical proof on how it wouldn't be. Question 4. If I were to solve a math problem and I started solving it at the middle of the equation, would the outcome be an assumption based on the fact that I skipped half the equation? Alright, let's try another one. If I started watching a movie halfway through, will I truly understand the outcome since I missed the beginning of the movie? Do you see that the ending is contingent upon the beginning and the beginning on the end? If you don't have the beginning, the end result will be an assumption, which cannot be regarded as science, but religion. I assume there's an intelligent designer because I can't prove 100% that there is one. I believe there is one, however. Which brings us to question 5. Since the beginning of your theory can't be proven, nor is it a part of science, how do you expect people to think it's not a religious belief? And why don't you think it's a religious belief since your theory can't be proven, nor is it a part of science? For any of the previous or following questions, if you're going to fill in the gap by saying, we don't have the answer now, but we will in the future, answer me these questions. This is question 6. Isn't that just the same as saying God did it? You're not answering the question, nor are you admitting you don't know the answer. You're simply filling in your ignorance by giving an unreliable answer based on an assumption. Which brings us to question 6A. Can you predict the future? Question 6AA. Does predicting the future based on assumptions contradict the humanistic view? If you believe that what you experience in your 5 senses are the only things that exist, how can you try to predict the future since you can't see into the future? 6AB. If not, how so? And give 100% infallible, non-opinionated empirical proof on how it doesn't and how you can. If I say what I believe in is an assumption, nothing changes. I believe in the designer of the Bible and the Gospels of Christ. I believe the Bible for its valid history that even concurs with secular history, for the fulfilled prophecies, and also for the stories and knowledge of this book. If science claims their findings are assumptions, it wouldn't have scientific data anymore. It would have assumptionific data. Now, I don't care if that's not a word. If you don't like it, sue me. Which brings us to our final question. This is question 7. If you had to show me one empirically 100% factual, non-opinionated proof for evolution, show it with absolute, solid, unarguable, infallible proof now. Video and text responses are accepted. Shalom.
Incoherent species intel. What you talking about? It's words you need to know.